In a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of the city, a girl named Zara lived with her grandmother. She was an introverted teenager who barely spoke outside of school, but inside her room, she became someone else entirely. Zara had one obsession: competitive video games, especially Blitzstrike, the world's most streamed esport. However, every time she tried to stream or join local tournaments under her real name, she was mocked or ignored. The gaming world was brutal, especially toward girls, full of trolls, gatekeepers, and doubters. "You play like a girl," they'd sneer. "Get off the server." Tired of the ridicule, Zara made a decision that changed everything. She created a new persona, a silent, masked streamer named MaskedQueen. Her voice was filtered, her face hidden, her skills unstoppable. Night after night, she climbed the ranks anonymously, defeating top-tier players with impossible reflexes and strategy. Zara didn't do it for fame or money. She did it to prove to herself she was worthy. Word began to spread in the community. MaskedQueen was a force of nature. Forums lit up with theories. Who was she? Was she a retired champion? A bot? Even the top male players began to take notice. One in particular, Tyson, the arrogant leader of the elite team Predator 5, called her out. "She's probably some washed-up guy in disguise," he scoffed on stream. "Let her 1v1 me." Zara saw the clip. Her heart raced. It was her chance, but it was also risky. Accepting the challenge could expose her, but she also knew if she didn't take it, they'd never stop doubting her. That night, Zara DM'd the official tournament organizers. She accepted. The battle was scheduled for Friday night. Viewers from around the world tuned in. The match was called Predator vs. Phantom. Inside her small room, with only her grandmother praying softly in the background, Zara put on her mask. She adjusted her mic, took a deep breath, and entered the virtual battlefield. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. Within the first minute, she landed a perfect triple kill. The crowd watching online erupted. Tyson was stunned. "Beginner's luck," he growled. But luck had nothing to do with it. Zara had trained for this every night. While others partied or slept, she practiced. Her fingers danced on the keyboard like a pianist performing a masterpiece. 10 minutes in, the scoreboard read, MaskedQueen 18, Predator 5. Tyson slammed his desk in frustration. "No way this is real," he yelled. "She must be cheating." But the anti-cheat system was clean. Every move, every headshot was raw talent. The chat exploded. MaskedQueen is goated. She's not human. Is this the next eSports queen? Zara stayed silent. She didn't need to talk. Her gameplay spoke louder than any words. Back at Predator 5's headquarters, Tyson's teammates looked on in disbelief. They couldn't believe someone so calm, so precise, could destroy him so effortlessly. "This isn't just skill," one of them whispered. "This is genius." As the final match ended, Zara completed an impossible 360 no-scope kill. Game over. MaskedQueen wins 25-7. The gaming world froze. Then, it exploded. Streams replayed the match on loop. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. Everyone wanted to know who was behind the mask. Zara, meanwhile, quietly removed her headset and mask. She looked at her reflection. For the first time, she smiled, not because she won, but because she finally felt seen. Days passed. Sponsors began reaching out to MaskedQueen's inbox. One email stood out. It was from Global Gamers League GOL, the biggest esports organization on Earth. They offered her a spot in the Grand Invitational with a prize pool of $1 million. But there was a catch: players must show their real identities. Zara froze. Could she really show the world who she was? Would they accept a teenage girl from the suburbs? Would they still cheer, or would the hate return? She needed time. That night, she walked to the park near her home and sat on a bench thinking. Her grandmother joined her. "You've always been strong," the old woman said, "but now it's time to be brave too." Zara nodded slowly. She knew what she had to do. At the Global Invitational, players from 30 countries gathered. Cameras panned across superstars, legends, and icons. Then came the final walk-in. A hush fell over the stadium. A young girl in a hoodie stepped onto the stage. The crowd murmured. Some laughed. Then the screen behind her lit up. MaskedQueen true identity revealed. The crowd gasped. Streamers dropped their jaws. Tyson was in the front row. His mouth fell open. "No freaking way," he whispered. The girl who destroyed him was just a teenage girl. But Zara didn't flinch. She took the controller, nodded at the referee, and entered the game lobby. Her first match was against an international champion from South Korea. He smiled politely but clearly underestimated her. 2 minutes in, she had already wiped his entire squad. The crowd was stunned into silence. Commentators struggled to find words. This is unheard of, one finally stammered. Match after match, Zara remained undefeated. Her hands moved like lightning. Her aim was flawless. The crowd went from confused to hypnotized. Chants of "Masked Queen, Masked Queen" erupted. Kids held signs with her name. Young girls watching around the world felt something shift. They saw themselves in her. The finals came. One last match against the reigning world champ. The stadium was on fire with excitement. Zara entered quietly confident. The opponent gave her a mock bow. But 10 minutes later, he was bowing in defeat. MaskedQueen had won. She became the youngest champion in history. Reporters swarmed her. "How did you learn to play like that?" One asked. "Why wear the mask?" asked another. Zara looked into the camera. "Because the world didn't want to see me until I made them listen." Cheers erupted. The video went viral. Tens of millions watched. Zara became a global symbol of perseverance and self-belief. Brands signed her. Schools invited her to speak. A documentary was made, Behind the Mask, but she never forgot where she started from her tiny room, her grandmother's prayers, and her own quiet fire. She built a gaming academy for girls, helping young talents rise without fear, and every night she still played. Not for trophies, but for the love of the game. And every time she logged in, someone would whisper, "MaskedQueen is online," back in her old community. Even the boys who once mocked her watched her tutorials. Tyson eventually reached out with a sincere apology. She forgave him, because now, it didn't matter what he thought. She had already proven herself. Game after game, win after win. No more hiding, no more masks. Just Zara the legend. She stood for all the girls who were told they weren't enough. She stood for every quiet. She stood for herself. Gaming would never be the same again. Zara was not just a player. She was a revolution. Game devs designed characters inspired by her. Fan art flooded social media. And still, she remained humble. "The real challenge," she once said, "is being true to yourself." Her words were printed on posters worldwide. And on her grandmother's fridge. That fridge stayed filled with handwritten scores, just like when Zara was starting out. MaskedQueen trended for months. She launched a clothing brand called Unmasked. Proceeds went to tech education for underprivileged girls. She was nominated for Time's Teen of the Year. Hollywood called with movie offers, but Zara declined most of them. She wasn't chasing fame. She was building a legacy. Her story became a global movement. Gamers of all ages said, "If she can do it, so can I." Her name echoed across leaderboards. But she never changed her username. MaskedQueen remained a symbol, not of hiding but of overcoming, of quiet strength, of truth told through action. One day, a little girl named Layla emailed her. "I want to be like you," she wrote. "I wear a mask too." Zara replied, "You don't need to be like me. Be even better." That message became her motto, and it lives in the hearts of millions. A girl once mocked is now the queen of the game. They laughed at her, but now they log in hoping to be on her team. Because behind every mask is someone worth seeing, and Zara, the MaskedQueen, had finally been seen.